So right now I'll put it right there, and he's trying to reach me, but he won't walk here. He now can't do that. So instead, he's choosing the next best route, where apparently AI can walk. His feet reacting to the level of the ground and also the location, so the foot is rotating and everything. Oh my god, I want a grenade. But this is a different genre. Hi guys, my name is Borodante, and welcome back to the game, version 0.02. I really hope this is the last time I show you this game with zero environment assets, because I'm kind of getting sick of these gray cubes. I'm pretty sure you guys are as well. But I have some pretty cool, kind of finished elements of the gameplay to show you guys today. I think it's really cool. There is also another video in the making that will come a lot sooner than this video came, and it will be about creating a very cool and important environment asset, a very huge one. So look forward to that next week. But for now, let me show you guys what we have here. Yeah, the whole thing is pretty much looking the same. I just copy-pasted more of our guts enemy all over the place. This is the guy. You can see on him, don't mind the blue penis stick, it's actually just an arrow that all the characters have. He now has these two boxes on his arms. That's the actual damaging boxes. So when he's gonna be swinging at us, you'll notice we'll be getting damage exactly from these things reaching John. And there's actually a lot more to this enemy now, but we'll talk about it in a moment. Let me show you guys what I've been working on right here. So you saw those big transparent cubes on top of these ones. So if I'll go here, classical survival horror mode with the static camera. How about that? I really thought, like, I really need this stuff. Like, there has to be static cameras, there has to be the ability to move the camera differently in a special locations, like in special moments. It shouldn't be just normal. I really want to make sure that the camera sometimes just naturally wanders away from the character into the cutscene, like a handheld camera or something. So that kind of stuff I'm really looking forward to doing as well. But so far we have these static cameras, and right now I went out of all the static camera boxes, and yeah, it's just smoothly going off like that. So going into the environment, going out of it like this, nice and smooth. And here's our guy. So before we get into him again, the aiming is like the best aiming I've ever done so far. Even walking pose and aiming pose, and the way John is even shifting his shoulder a little bit when he is pressed against the wall. He's actually leaning away like this, so full body IK is really in action here. Really working well. A nice pointing exactly in the center, nice and stable with controllable lag like this. It's really cool. And also when the enemy is close by, John is actually aiming not at the center of the screen anymore, but a bit to the left, so it would be easier to aim at the enemy that's really close to John. That was kind of an issue that I ran into, since this game has this shoulder camera, meaning John is to the left from the center, while I'm aiming at the center. So when enemies approach John, they're not approaching the center of the camera, they're approaching to the left. So it's getting harder and harder to aim when they get close to John. They wander away from the center, and I keep rotating, and I'm really rotating around both of them, having a hard time actually aiming at guts. But now it's fixed. Like right now it's not gonna do it, only when you aim at the enemy. The camera gets closer and John is aiming a bit to the left, so you have an easy way to actually aim at the enemy, so that's pretty cool. Now, you guys can see there's all kinds of animations going on. Well, not all kinds, I just made the basic things to be able to call this character generally, you know, finished. There's more things to improve. There's only quick attacks right now, the stuff that he's doing. It's actually a double attack. He's swinging twice to the left, then twice to the right. Ouch. And I'm already at 5% health. But yeah, that's what they're doing. They're approaching me and hitting, and now I'm dead because, yeah, still haven't fixed John's head when he's dying. But one important thing about Guts now is that if I let him see me and I hide behind the wall, this used to be a complete safe place from Guts before because he was just walking exactly towards me. Now this guy is actually using path searching, and he will find me no matter where I hide. If he knows where I am based on all the timing and algorithm of everything. So to help him reach me faster, I can shoot him. And yeah, the animation of his pain is now a lot more spastic like this, and it's making things harder a bit to aim at his head. And I gotta say, it kind of feels unnerving when that shaking thing is approaching you really fast. I'm planning to play around a lot more with this twitchy movement. Right now, it's pretty much just a sped up animation of my acting as pain from before. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. So about the lines that you guys can see right now shooting from them, the blue ones and the single white one. While the path searching that Guts are using when they're approaching me when they saw me, that is a part of Unreal Engine. That's actually one little node that probably has like huge amount of code in it. It's actually letting the enemy find the shortest path based on all the obstacles and everything, really walking around obstacles and reaching John. I had a hard time writing that myself. Oh my god, that's looking brutal. And overall, I'm quite in trouble here. But yeah, then just this morning, I found out how to use actual pre-built AI path searching algorithm here. AI in terms of like game AI, like not a human player brain. It's called AI. It has nothing to do with machine learning or anything. It's just the algorithm of path searching. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Yeah, by the way, one of them is really big. That's something I was also experimenting with. Apparently, I can easily scale up or scale down any of the enemies and have certain variety to their height. But yeah, let me quickly show you guys. This is our enemy code here. This is, by the way, just a quick mention of what's going on here. This is actually not the best and the traditional way of writing code of the enemy in Unreal Engine. Apparently, you can use some kind of behavior trees, which look like actual trees. It's not like these nodes. They're like coming from the top and branching into different behavior states. It's like a different thing, and you use that to quickly build the model of what the enemy does, and you use different codes for path searching and everything inside of that as well. And I thought that was the only way to use that kind of path searching nodes and everything, but it turned out not at all. I decided to write all the code for my enemy just like this in normal nodes, just writing my own logics the way I want it to be, using my own flags and everything. Simply because, first of all, this is like Silent Hill style enemy, which shouldn't be too smart or anything. And I really want to control the way exactly they are, you know, acting a bit more. So I just wanted things to stay here in actual simple blueprints, and that's it. But anyway, here's this node. This is literally after trying right here, I saved the previous version. It used to be this node right here that had these nodes in here, that had these nodes in here, that had these nodes in here. And there's two functions that have all of this in here. All of this is to search paths and figuring out how to walk better and not hitting walls and everything. And then I realized all of this is going to be really, really hard because one main problem I had is that I couldn't easily tell where there was a wall and where there was a walkable floor. And I didn't know what to do about it because I never looked it up or anything. So I spent like 2-3 days writing all this stuff. Thankfully, the main function that you saw in the end there is still used for their free roaming when they're just walking around with those blue and white arrows. This is just shooting rays and seeing if they hit any wall, and if they do, looking for the longest arrow that didn't hit anything or hit as far as possible and walking towards that line. That's pretty much what they do, and it turns out to be working pretty well. They walk around quite lively, I would say, but more testing required for sure. Maybe I'll stick to this move to node as well, because literally I'm just going, you, the enemy, go towards player, and you know, go. That's all you have to do, and just keep using this every frame of the game and the enemy approaches your player. That's all you have to do. It's so cool. So yeah, this is how things ended up being just this morning. And what's interesting, like I still thought, like, how does it figure out where there's a wall and where there's something that the enemy is supposed to be able to walk on? Like, before you actually go there, how do you know? So another thing that I just learned this morning, I'll hit P on my keyboard. This is actual walkable area for the enemies, and it's controlled by this thing that I used to be hearing the name of in Unreal Engine all the time. It's called NavMesh. And I was thinking, what the hell is that? NavMesh is a mesh that's describing where AI can navigate across, I guess, something like that. So you see, I moved it around. Now the area of where they can walk ends here. So you kind of stretch it all over the place. You can have multiple of them. It doesn't matter. It's not connected to anything. It's just wherever you put them, that's where AI can walk. And then what's really cool is that you can add a nav modifier volume, and this thing will cut out pieces from where enemies can walk. And yeah, it can be of different types, and one of them that I really like is low height, which is pretty much, it means like if the enemy is capable of crouching, they would have to crouch to go through this area. So that's also cool. But yeah, null means like no walking here for AI at all. And yeah, it can also be like whatever, a cylinder or something if you want it to be round. So right now I'll put it right there. I'll approach Guts. He now sees me and he's trying to reach me, but he won't walk here because he now can't do that. So instead, he's choosing the next best route, which is across that little area where apparently AI can walk. So that's pretty dope. That thing was a huge save. Like, I really had a lot of thoughts about, like, how the hell do I code pathfinding? That's a lot. So yeah, that's pretty cool, and that's done now. And with these cameras, it's also a huge deal. Like, I'll be able to now prepare certain locations and certain camera angles for them, you know, Silent Hill style. At the moment, these angled cameras are only used for, like, safe areas. So right now, on these cubes, enemies can't reach me, and John actually can't even aim or focus. So right-clicking doesn't do anything. I'll probably eventually create this kind of static camera locations that allow you to aim as well, but it will actually require some extra mechanics on how I rotate John and see how to aim with him, because it's like gonna be different. I won't be able to aim with the center of the screen anymore. But I feel like I shouldn't just keep this kind of locations like safe areas, because I feel like in a horror game you should never feel safe. And if I do this like a safe place, then you will always know, like, oh, it's a static camera, no danger here, whatever, you know, that's not good. So yeah, really loving the way this thing works. Also kind of just with one node, a lot of presets and stuff written for you in Unreal Engine, which is really cool. Like switching cameras with a blend, you're transforming your view, so you're not actually moving your character's camera, you're moving your view from this camera to this camera, or this camera, or this camera, and like with a blend, so it can like smoothly transition if you want to. So that's really cool. I love that, and I will love being able to smoothly transition into a cutscene camera that is animated. So that's how it will work, and it will be really cool, I think. So yeah, loving this whole pathfinding thing. This is like my latest discovery and just awesome. So yeah, I was planning to introduce all of the enemies we prepared into the game first and then move on to creating the environment. I think I'm gonna start mixing it up a bit, so starting next week we'll be working more on the actual environments. And yeah, I feel like this area right here is more or less established right now in terms of what I'm planning to do in it. Oh my god, look at this army of terror. I actually haven't tried. Are these guys at all survivable with this whole path searching and shaking heads like crazy? Like, what if I'm just here? Oh, by the way, those twitches in the beginning that you guys just saw, that's like the only way so far I figured out in Unreal Engine that lets you make sure that they don't walk exactly the same way at the same time like a boys band. Such a simple thing, and weirdly there's no way to normally do it. There's like one pin that you can control, like a start position for the animation, and it literally just doesn't do anything. I'm so pissed off about it. I had to share my pain. So what I had to do instead, to use like this one hacky way that's advised in Unreal Engine forums and everything, the moment the game starts, they all start moving really fast for a random amount of seconds, like half a second or 0.7 of a second, and then they end up in different position in their walking animation. So that's why they shake furiously and stop shaking at different times. And now it looks kind of cool the way they are. So it's definitely some kind of bug or like a limitation, and I'm going to die now. But yeah, a limitation that you can't just start the animation from whatever point you want. Oh my god. Yeah, shooting, aiming, all this stuff is like, either I'm getting better at it, almost, or like I actually made aiming a lot more comfortable. So yeah, clearly when gods notice you, they should probably start walking faster or something, because this is a bit easy, right? In such an open space, you can easily just run away from them at any point. So either much more narrow designs of places where you encounter them, which is definitely an option here, or they should be able to suddenly move a lot faster, which is, by the way, something I'm kind of practicing already. When they're just walking towards you, they're actually changing their speed of walking a little bit, like 10% difference. It's like randomized amount of time that they are randomly changing their speed. So yeah, it makes it more natural, but I feel like it should be like a lot stronger. They should sometimes suddenly walk a lot faster towards you. I think it's a really good idea. Yeah, so half a second to a second and a half is the period in which they would change their speed again and again. So yeah, I'm actually subtracting 45. I should also, let's add and subtract 50. So 100, I don't know what, like meters per second or something. But like I'm more than doubling the amount of randomization of their walking speed right now when they're approaching me. So now, on average, they're walking a lot faster. I can't say I see a lot of difference in the way they walk in terms of speed. Seems about the same. Ooh, let's actually draw a debug string. This is one thing I never tried before. So usually print string means it will show text printed on the screen at the top left corner, the way it shows my health when I get hurt. But this thing will actually show our max walk speed at any moment, and it will be exactly above our character. So I'll get actor location and I'll just make it like 100 centimeters above the center of each guts that's walking around. Ooh, that's so cool. Okay, so yeah, they are having very different speeds of walking, but I can't say it's, you know, striking me with different speed, like visually. But yeah, they kind of like rush at me sometimes, while overall they don't really rush. With time, in general, it's kind of the same. But they look like they're actually doing their own thing. Yeah, the guy on the right is moving much faster than the guys on the left. That's pretty cool. So yeah, cool. Different speeds are here. Oh my god. This is kind of unnerving. Don't forget, on top of all of that, you have to reload and you run out of ammo, so that will be much worse. Oh my god, I almost forgot to tell you guys one amazing thing about the way I animate John now, which is like this. He now puts his foot on things. Like if I just create some kind of inclined surface right here. It's not perfect yet. Sometimes he raises his foot a bit too much. But generally, you guys can see now that he's standing like a real person. So his feet are reacting to the level of the ground and also the location. So the foot is rotating and everything. All of this was done with coding by me. There's no easy way about it with one node or something. So yeah, it's working pretty well right now. It can get really intense, like he's going pretty low with that. Sometimes too much. I haven't added, like, there should be some kind of limitations to the foot, because sometimes he would twist the foot horizontally, which is like a broken foot. Other than that, it's really cool to be able to have your character standing like a normal person. Hey, losers! Oh my god. Oh, he's trying to hit me. That is stupid. Why are you trying to hit me? I mean, I did specifically wrote code to make sure they don't just give up if I'm elevated. But I'm too elevated. You guys should give up. This is dumb. Oh my god, I want a grenade. But this is a different genre. Well, yeah, with infinite ammo, it's definitely pretty easy. One important strategy about these guys, the way they are right now, is that if you shoot one of them, you should keep shooting that one guy, because the moment you hurt another one, they all start running really fast at you, because pain is like speeding them up a lot. So I think that's pretty cool mechanics. I don't usually see a lot of that in games, I don't think. Usually hurting someone makes them slower. I really think that shouldn't be the case, because your enemies, like monsters, like horror things in the game, they shouldn't feel like you can intimidate them or whatever. They should be the opposite, you know? Oh, you hurt me and now I'm more mad. Like, that's scary, right? That's scarier than someone that's slowing down from being hurt. And yeah, I also love, I really changed the way corpses are pushed around. Before that, it was really hard to even aim with John when you walk over the corpses. But right now, these guys, they push around other corpses just like that. Like, the living guys are not affected at all. They're just pushing around the corpses, which is, I think, kind of cool and brutal. And John is just a little bit pushing them around. You can barely see, usually, that movement. There you go, he's, like, moving a little bit. And yeah, it's just that feet of John are raised, so you're kind of walking over the corpses and that's it. And because of that, you can easily like aim while walking over the corpses. So it's like, it's looking pretty good, and at the same time, it's not affecting your gameplay at all. You won't be stuttering and shaking with the camera over the corpses. So it's pretty good that way. Anyway, this is a battle I can't win. Overall, like, the basic actions of the player and of the first enemy are more or less complete as a concept. Like, there are animations and things like that. Of course, John's animations need to be upgraded with the motion capture. Really looking forward to just start building the world at this point, because we will need a whole lot of assets and different things. So yeah, for now, this is it. Tell me, guys, what you think. What do you guys think about the animations and the way Guts is approaching you now, and how they're going completely insane when they're hurt? And yeah, about all the other coding, if you guys know a thing or two about that. But yeah, this thing is just so crazy. I couldn't imagine someone actually pulled this off for Unreal Engine. This is so cool. Walking area for AI that's just quickly regenerated the moment you change anything. Like, so cool. Anyway, this is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Come on, show me what you can do. There you go. Like, this weird floating of a foot that happens sometimes. I don't know why yet, but it's all written just by me, so not very surprising.